Hello, everyone. This is Duran's Healing, and welcome to tonight's Healing Circle. And for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel, where I provide weekly energetic updates for the collective. And what's going on in the cosmos has impacted me lately. The eclipses, the full moon has pulled my energy in a much different way. And for those who may be impacted as well, I feel for you. And what I would like to do tonight is to see what's going on with the collective, to see what story or the messages are. With that being said, the message that's speaking the loudest is speaking to something very unique. It's speaking to the spiritual side of things, the other world. And it's important to note, oftentimes we get a lot of messaging around mental health and the mental well-being, but we often neglect the spiritual health of a person. And the higher message is speaking to this idea. If you've known or are aware of people who have mental health challenges, it's important to note that there's something going on spiritually with them. And the energy is bringing attention to your role in this process. For you to pay key attention to the other side of this matter. And to nurture the narrative around this very delicate topic. Because the paradigm has neglected to push past the boundaries, to push the envelope, to properly nurture the relationships of these people in a way that's conducive to their spiritual well-being. And the higher energy is calling you to participate in the narration of this story. You're devoted, and a part of your devotion to community is directly impacted by this very thing. And you may be insightful enough to know this, to be aware enough to see the implications. However, what you need to see very clearly is that there needs to be relationships cultivated around this work. It needs to be work around this issue. And you will come to find very intimate and very key relationships develop within the community of people who share similar experiences. People who understand or may be impacted one way or the other. Because you must understand that you are the beacon of light in your community. You shine in a way that's like no other. Shining as a source of resource to people. Committing yourself to the upkeep of the community because of your life's mission, your life's work, and this is something that you already know. But the energy is pushing you to be more authentic to yourself. Authentic to the wild side of you. To allow yourself to be all that you are. And this is important because the expression of your authentic self is key to not only your identity, but it also is key to a signature frequency that registers to other that who you are is exactly who you need to be. And by you doing this, you will role model the proper behavior of a true healer. Creating transitions and transformation in your home life, in the paradigm that you live in, but it also affirms the very ground that you walk on to say, I am that I am. Mother Earth hears you. But not only that, Mother Earth wants to feel you. And the energy you radiate will sync up with the very ground that you walk on. Because you're on a personal healing journey. One that is very challenging, and it comes with great responsibility, because it's very difficult to be yourself in a way that is true and to stay that way. With all these influences, whether they be through your peers, romantic relationships, family, work, the society at large, your religion, there's so many outside influences that have the capacity to deter you away from who you feel like you need to be, meeting the needs and the demands of others in a way that may not be in alignment to who you are. And the personal spiritual journey that you have undergone or you may be taking at this particular time calls you to be intentional, to be forthcoming, standing up in your truth no matter the consequences. And this will send you on your way to abundance. Financial abundance, liberating you away from a corporation or a system that provides you the funding for your lifestyle. In other words, as you continue to move along your journey, embracing who you are, there's a financial blessing that comes along with that. Giving you the liberation that you desire, giving you the version of freedom that your spirit longs for. This isn't about an American dream. This is about your spiritual reality. And you must not compromise that. Wow, that was a very powerful message. Very powerful message, very powerful reading. And as we shift gears, please be sure to like, please be sure to comment below so that I can see how this message may be showing up in your world. And the second message that's pulling on me within the stones is speaking to an obstacle that is in between two things. One having to do with the change and the transition that is pushing from the other side. And the other has to do with where you feel at home and what makes you feel at home. And what I would like to do is to pull some clarifiers to see exactly what obstacle. It seems like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. To see what this obstacle is. One second. Okay. Cards fell. I'm not going to take those. Two. And okay. The cards that came out were Energy, Vampires, Separation. That's the cards that stuck together. Mindset and Healing. I see. I see now. You may be coming up against things that are questioning you in terms of, or making you question yourself, making you question where you are, where you're supposed to be, and how to properly get there. And the card of separation came out. You may have been in hermit mode for some of you. Some of you may have had to separate yourself from certain people that were not in the proper frequency or in the same frequency as you are in, because they were pulling on your energy in a way that wasn't conducive to you. In order for you to move beyond this rock in a hard place, a certain type of healing must occur. What type of healing must occur for the collective? It says ascension and constellation. Yeah. You're about ascension. Your spiritual body will not allow you to stay in a reductionist state. And you may be trying to figure out what the next step is. You've gone through many awakenings. You have taken quantum leaps. And now you're in a position that makes you question, where else do I go? What next? And this requires you to be in a state of action. You must figure out what actionable steps that you are to take, because it's about your power and standing in it. Because sometimes the information and the downloads and being highly spiritual, highly intuitive can take you away like the wind. However, this energy is calling you to stand firm and tall like a tree, allowing the information to blow through you. But you must stay firm on the mission and the target at hand, which is about ascension. If your next step isn't about, how do I take this to the next level, then you will remain out of alignment. You will remain stuck, because the wisdom is in you, and it's about getting out this genius that you carry. There's a genius within you that's trying to be birthed. And a part of the birthing process is you being responsible enough with yourself to let people go, let places go, and to stay forward on the mission. On the mission at hand, which will require you to shed old thinking. This is difficult, but it's not impossible. And it's okay. When you were a child, you thought as a child. But now that you are a very highly intuitive being, what does that look like? Absorbing all the information, all the science, all the magic. But now is a call to action. Now is the time to put a proper plan in place to ensure the spiritual progression of the future self. Giving light to your gift, giving light to what you're here to do. This is very hard. This is not an easy thing to do, but it requires you to trust your intuition on a level that you haven't done before. At this point, it's either all or nothing. All or nothing. It's requiring you to jump off the cliff and allow yourself to trust the process. And what I can see here is that the wisdom that you carry will be the bridge, will be a bridge for you to bask in the knowing that where you're headed is where you're meant to be. Ashe. Very powerful. Wow. Wow. You're going to get through this. You're going to get through it's a lot going on. Be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. Put in some self-care tactics. Meditate. This is the call of a spiritual leader. This is the part of the journey that people don't speak about. Is that fight, the elevation and the ascension, constantly warding off demons, warding off hurdles, warding off low vibrations. And not only that, is doing the steps necessary to continue to ascend. Whew. And what I'm going to do is try to shift the energy and see what other messages that the higher energy would like for me to share with you all. I'm going to pull a few cards to see what other messages the higher energy would like for me to share. And smoker. All right. Sorry about that. All right. The cards that came out says feeling energy, falling apart, smoker, and see you. Someone's spirit guide or ancestors may have been a smoker. And their energy is kicking in. So I don't know who that is resonating with, but someone who have either passed away or transitioned was a smoker. Their energy is speaking very loudly here. And you may be feeling a lot of energy at this particular time. There's so much going on in the cosmos, so much going on in the universe. There's so many different things going on. And I myself, too, I'm feeling that. And it may be for the collective. It may be for someone that you're feeling like you're falling apart. But the truth of the matter is that you're coming together. The fullness of who you are is finally starting to come together. The purity of your spirit is still intact. The energy is saying that they see you. They see you and all that you are and all that you've done. And it isn't going unnoticed. They're simply using me as a vessel to share this message by saying, I see you. You're beautiful. You're smart, you're talented, you're gifted, you're special. Called on a very special mission here. Don't feel like you're behind. Don't feel like you may not have it together like some other people, X, Y, and Z. Refrain from comparison because you're like no other. The mission that I see here in the stones for you requires a special person to be able to do this for the collective, to do this for others, to do this for the greater good of the planet. And you must not take it lightly. And also, the weight of it may make you feel so much, but it's all a part of a higher mission. And I too see you. I see it in the stones. Very bright being. And with that being said, I'm going to close this reading out. Thank you all for joining my healing circle. Please be sure to like. Please be sure to subscribe and comment below, so I can see how this message has shown up in your world in the midst of all the craziness that's going on in the cosmos and the stars the past few weeks. Again, thank you. Period.